So, hello, people, and welcome back after a while. We were supposed to do it. Um, when were we supposed to do this? Like Sunday or something like that. But yeah, better to do it now, I guess, than later. Fortaleza winning, not. uh, you know, it's so sweet that Lucero scores and they lose. It's so sweet that he went to a team um, that you know needed to win the international trophy. Um, yeah, he went to a team that needs international trophy, and then he bottled it. So yeah, I'm fixing it up. So yeah, I think the first goal was pretty good goal. Um, if I remember it quite right, it was a shot like the right corner or something like that. Um, so yeah, I think the first half, it was not awful, but it was quite bad. And obviously, as soon as Fortaleza scored a goal, you know, they get to Quito. The goalkeeper, he was really good in this game, Dominguez. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna put him up here. Yeah. So obviously, yeah, it was pretty much half of really much happening. Um, obviously, it was 9 shots to 13 for Quito. Uh, mm, and obviously, Liga de Quito winning an international trophy. That's huge for them. Because now they will play in the qualify for directly group stage for the Libertadores, if I'm not mistaken. Because they still have the league, and I have zero clue how that works, even though.
No, they are already qualified for the next Copa Libertadores as a Pot 1 team for being the Copa Sudamericana champions. So that's
Yeah.
always huge. And of course, they are going to play in the Super Cup as well.
Yeah, against Palmeiras. It's time to jinx some teams. Um,
Well,
yeah.
Palmeiras are not in the final of the Libertadores, but okay.
Oh, I meant the other team. They're gonna play. The team that. Yeah, Fluminense. I mean, congrats to Fluminense, by the way. Yeah. Quito wins 3-4 on penalties. Obviously, they scored in the 57th minute. 1-1 goal. I think the second half it was kind of balanced. Uh, you know, if Fortaleza just scored the second goal, this game would be over. But instead, they bottle it, and this was, I think, their first final in their history. Uh, so they don't really have this heritage in the tournament, while Liga de Quito have obviously some heritage, kind of. Um, yeah, I knew this game would go to penalties, but I still predicted a 2-0 victory for Fortaleza, sadly. Um, so, yeah, Dominguez, the Ecuadorian keeper, who was very good on day. Um, probably my man of the match. I don't know if that sounds crazy, but I think he was excellent. Um, yeah, he's 30. I think this was foresight what he said in the stream with AD that this was his first like first final since he was at the Liga de Quito team last time, or like 4 finals he has been.
Yep.
It's crazy. This guy's 36 and still have more trophies than Spurs. It's unbelievable.
Mhm.
And yeah, this is a deservedly win for Liga de Quito. They have been grinding out in this tournament. Obviously, could have been other teams in the final, but do I see these two teams doing well next season in the respectively Sudamericana and Libertadores? No, but can they make it out of a group stage? Yes. But we'll see next year when the next season starts. So, is it a final that I would like to rewatch again? No, definitely not. This has been many good finals, but if I would pick a final to watch, like for fun, yeah, sure, I watch this. But yeah, Fortaleza going to the final, losing it after bottling a 1-0 lead, it is pretty bad for them. Because they, in my opinion, they should have got this win when they went 1-0 up. I don't know what they were doing after the 1-0 goal, but yeah, congrats to Liga de Quito. How many Ecuadorian clubs has won the Sudamericana?
This is now 2 clubs that have won the Copa Sudamericana, Independiente del Valle and Liga de Quito, and they both won it twice. So now Ecuador has 4 Copa Libertadores with 2 winners.
Sudamericana.
Yep.
So I think they are top 3 who has won the most Sudamericana, right?
Yes.
Country.
Argentina has won 9 Copa Sudamericanas, Brazil has 5, and now Ecuador has 4. So Ecuador is inching closer and closer to Brazil for that second spot.
And we call this Copa de Brazil. Kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
And obviously, the other countries. I know Chile has one.
Yeah,
And then,
Universidad de Chile has 1.
yeah, and Bolivia has 0. I'm sure, right?
Yeah. I know Colombia has 1, Peru has 1, and Mexico even has 1 with Pachuca.
Oh, fuck. Should have been Coca-Cola that year, but yeah. Who knows? We might do a history about Sudamericana and Libertadores stream, looking back at the finals. Not all of the finals, but most of the finals from 1990 or even before. Because why not? It's fun. Yeah. Next year, where do you see these two teams come in their respective tournaments? Where do you see is the final end for these two teams? Obviously, we don't know yet, but let's say Fortaleza gets into the Sudamericana again.
Yeah. I mean, judging by the league table, I would assume that Fortaleza is going to qualify to Copa Sudamericana next year, and they're going to try to go again at the final. Of course, this was their first final, and it ended in pretty heartbreaking fashion because they had, like you said, they had a 1-0 lead, and even they had a chance to win it on penalties because we don't have to forget that Fortaleza were actually on match point in the penalty shootout until Dominguez made that clutch save and allowed Liga de Quito back into the shootout. Fortaleza were extremely close, and I feel like both teams deserve to win this final. No matter who had won, they both have made an incredible effort, and it was just because of small margins that Liga de Quito won. like I said, maybe the pressure got to the players of Fortaleza who didn't know what it was like to be in this situation. And yeah, Fortaleza are gonna try to go again, and Quito now have to try and replicate this in Copa Libertadores. How
Mm,
will they do? I'm not sure. I feel like you said, they can get out of the group stage, but going further, it's gonna be difficult. Of course, we saw that Independiente del Valle played
mm,
in Copa Libertadores after winning the Sudamericana this year, and they went out in the round of 16. So Liga de Quito have to try and improve on that, I think.
mm. And obviously the road for Fortaleza to the silver medal or second place was Libertad. They beat 2-1 Margaret. Then they beat American Mineiro, the Rats, 5-1 aggregate, which I'm still disgusted about how they got that far. Like, I don't know why. They beat Corinthians, which is kind of a shock. And then also they did not beat the Quito. They beat Nublense on penalties, which they simply bottled it. And then they beat Sao Paulo. And then they beat Defensa. So, yeah. So, if we look at the teams, Quito has definitely the hardest teams. Um, so, let's say in another scenario, if let's say Fortaleza played um, um, so they played against uh, Independence. Say Fortaleza got another team who finished third in the Libertadores group, and they um, then played against either Colo-Colo or Bragantino. Um, would it still be harder for Quito to go through, or would it be Fortaleza's way? Because I think if they, I don't know if, yeah, I'm gonna. So let's say if, for example, played against. Um, um, let's say they played against um, Barcelona, for example, and they um, got like call in the next round. Would it be tougher for them, or would it still be tougher for uh, uh, Liga de Quito? Because I think if we compare, for example, who did I say? Barcelona, and obviously looking at it, Barcelona is better. By judging it the performances, Nublense got, I think, far. Yeah, they got further than Barcelona, and then they play Sao Paulo. Quito played Sao Paulo, and then obviously if Fortaleza plays Colo-Colo or Bragantino, who do you think would be harder to play against out of those three teams? Out of
I feel like Sao Paulo is still a lot harder than both Bragantino and Colo Colo, honestly.
mm, and obviously defense. Who do you so I don't know who do you think play better between Corinthians and Defensa? Who do you think
Defensa.
is
Defensa
defense?
is a better team.
Mm,
This
yeah,
Corinthians team is really close to, like, it's only 3 points clear of the relegation zone. This Corinthians team is really, really bad, and they had shithoused their way to the semifinals. I feel like Defensa y Justicia is a lot better, and it was just unlucky that they didn't have Ubita Fernandez, their best striker, fit for the semifinal.
mm. So if let's say Estudiantes went through against Corinthians, do you think Fortaleza will go through? Because I think they won't. They
I'm not sure.
wouldn't.
I'm not sure. I feel like Estudiantes deserved to go through against Corinthians, and they would have
Mm.
been a much tougher opponent. Maybe Fortaleza still advance against Estudiantes. It would be a very close game, but I'm not sure. I really liked the way this Estudiantes team played.
Who do
Um,
you think played better in the final between Fortaleza and Quito?
I think Quito was a bit better. The first
Mm.
half, it was, I think Fortaleza started off better, but then the game got pretty scrappy, and it didn't have a clear dominant. Then Fortaleza scored early, and from that point onwards, I feel like it was all Quito. The second half was all Quito. They equalized quickly, and then they dominated. They were the team that almost won it at the end, and they were the team that was forcing Joe Ricardo into making good saves. And I think Quito was also the team that tried the most in extra time. So I'd say Quito played better this final, just a little bit. Fortaleza still has a lot of credit.
Mm.
Like they did a great effort.
Yeah. So before we end up this stream, so obviously Copa Libertadores final region and so on. Sunday, maybe. Then we have next month or this upcoming November. We have obviously the November international break. Predictions and review. Now obviously we had the 13th, the team under me here, the season review, how the season went. And obviously it will be a day after the game. Because I will be tired after I come from the game. Plus, I'm not really, I just want to rest that day. In case we lose and I get angry. And then obviously we have the uh, season review for Copa in December. The season ends there with the stupid FA brain. Like, why are you taking the cup to 20th of December? It's just stupid. So thank you guys for watching. It's been me and Renk for this year. We will be back next year with the Sudamericana content, um, which we obviously will do with the Libertadores content. We do the same together, so it doesn't become a lot of streams, anyways. So, who, hmm, who do you think has been the best player from these two teams, Fortaleza and Quito, in this tournament? Obviously,
Um, so the best player for Quito is probably the goalkeeper Dominguez. I feel like
mm,
Dominguez was super clutch in all three penalty shootouts against Ñublense, Sao Paulo, and now Fortaleza, of course, and
mm,
he kept Quito alive in many instances. Another good shout would be like Johan Julio or someone like that. As for Fortaleza, I think Dinga, the captain, the right back, was very important, as well as Eddie Nilsson. Iago Pikachu, I guess, had a few cameos, but he
mm.
didn't play the entirety of the tournament. But I guess those would be the most important players.
I'm gonna say the best players for Fortaleza. Um, I would probably only say two: Lozero and Pikachu. Not the Pokemon. Um, for Liga Quito, I'd probably say Dominguez as well. I think it was crucial. Um, and obviously, if as we look into the other teams like Internacional this season in the competition, they had Ener Valencia and Roche, so you only need a world-class striker and a good goalkeeper, and then you set. Unless you're Coca and have a bad defense and lose 5-1 to the worst team in Brazil. Um, but yeah, it was kind of not a good final, but the bigger final is coming on Saturday, obviously, when the biggest club in Argentina plays versus Fluminense, and hopefully, if Andre drops a masterclass, I will be angry. I will be angry. Rather have. I could already see it. Boca Juniors wins the Libertadores on penalties. Romero, the hero. I don't know why. Like, hopefully it doesn't jinx, but obviously I might do it later, in 30 minutes or so, on the Ballon d'Or yesterday. Something. I don't know if Renk wants to join for that, but it's gonna be not happy about the Ballon d'Or yesterday, but
Yeah, I think what you posted on Twitter was maybe a bit excessive, I think.
I might go into that later.
Because I personally got genuinely worried when you posted that, and then I realized, oh, he's just saying about the Ballon d'Or. Like, I didn't like that.
We could do a Ballon d'Or stream later if you want, Renk. We could probably set it up soon. Because I'm telling you, that guy is robbing people of Ballon d'Ors. Just say. Yeah. So if I'm going live, it will probably be in 30 minutes. Because I'm not crying. I'm telling the truth. And you know it. You Messi FC fans know it. So thank you for watching this Sudamericana final reaction. Obviously, the end got into a Ballon d'Or, but we do it in 30 minutes. And I'm gonna expose Messi for being, a fraud. So, any last words or?
Well, about this final, because this is what we were talking about in this stream for the first place, I feel like this was maybe not the best final in terms of play, but it was very dramatic. It was very intense. It was everything you could ask for from a final. And the tournament itself was great. I felt like there were some great storylines, great teams, upsets, huge games. Games with a lot of goals, games that were really boring. Like we had it all this tournament, and I feel like this tournament is like this and Copa Libertadores are the embodiment of South American football, and I like to celebrate that a lot. And yeah, I feel like we had an amazing champion in Liga de Quito and another amazing team like Fortaleza, who sadly came short, but I'm sure they will bounce back.
Yeah, thank you people for watching. See you later for the Ballon d'Or smoke later, I guess. Oh, you want that, do you? You want it. You really want it. Yeah. I know Rank wants it. Goodbye, people.